What is Maui? World-renowned, a popular destination, and so well-known. In fact, far from known. As we discover by departing Kahului, a classic tropical port town, its welter of streets and businesses wrapped around a large bay, and by flying west over the almost uninhabited headlands of Kahakuloa. Maui is a complex experience, especially because most of this supposedly well-known island lies beyond all roadways. Most of Maui remains a mystery to humankind. Waihe'e Stream flows in a canyon that's over 3,000 feet deep. Waihe'e is one of 4 great streams that flow constantly from the windward side of West Maui. People call this area, this exaltation of the force of erosion, the West Maui Mountains, plural. In fact, these ridges and canyons are all part of a single mountain properly called Mauna Kahalawai, an old volcano that cooled to extinction long ago. Waihe'e Stream is one of many waterways that flow out of the collapsed heart of the old mountain. Its source is a huge natural amphitheater that time has carved right up to the base of the old mountain summit. That summit peak, called Pu'ukukui, rises over 4,000 feet in elevation and is almost always lost in the clouds. These falls attest to the fact that Pu'ukukui is one of the rainiest places on Earth. Streams radiate from Pu'ukukui like spokes from a hub. Waihe'e Stream flows east, Kahului direction. But this stream, Honokohau, flows straight north for 9 miles, making it West Maui's longest waterway. Where it reaches the sea, it forms a beautiful bay, one of the 6 Pi'ilani bays that distinguish West Maui's leeward shores. One stream more or less windward, one more or less leeward. But they begin side by side here at the foot of Pu'ukukui, each stream with its own amphitheater headland. Unlike the Waihe'e headland though, which we saw with its network of lacy falls, Honokohau Stream originates with a single cataract that belongs in the Planetary Hall of Fame. Honokohau Falls drops its continual catch of fresh water straight down for over 1,700 feet. The only U.S. waterfall taller is Yosemite. People who measure such things say that Honokohau is the 6th tallest cascade in the world, and it is almost inaccessible. In the long run, the true wealth of one's community, of our species, cannot be measured in gold or in bills, not in oil or in steel. Nothing is more true or more precious than this, vai, clean, heavenly delivered, fresh, pure water. Leeward West Maui's gem has always been Lahaina, a favorite living place since ancient days, famous for its fertility, calm seas, and sunny skies. In old days, there was so much fresh water here from springs and streams that one of the first Western visitors, Captain George Vancouver, called Lahaina the Venice of the Pacific. Although West Maui's leeward slopes get hit with rain far less frequently than those on the windward side, these canyons are still deeply eroded by stream water. The lava material here is soft and porous, easily sliced into razor-sharp ravines. At this height, we can easily cross from one headland to another. This experience lies way beyond the endurance of almost all hikers. This is the hidden heart of Mauna Kahalawai. This is a natural laboratory for the forces of evolution, a frail and threatened world that has yet to be understood. Now we've topped the mountain, looking now windward, with Kahului dead ahead. This is Iao. Let's turn and go back up Iao Valley from the lowlands to the peak. We are looking directly west along the path of the streaming sunrise light. Iao. The name means Supreme Enlightenment. Iao has always been revered as a sacred place. This is where the greatest ali'i, or high chiefs, were interred. In old days, the entire valley was kapu, or forbidden, to the common people. Visitors to Iao State Park are familiar with kaka'e, or the needle. From the air, though, we can see that this needle is really the knobby end of a long, sharp ridge. Such a ridge is the remains of a lava dike. A deep crack in soft stone will fill with dense, heavy lava. Later, when the mountain erodes, the dense material will remain vertical, while the older material around it disintegrates. A magnificent display of disintegration on a rare, cloudless day. On average, Pu'ukukui catches almost 400 inches of rain a year. West Maui is soft and yielding, melting under the force of weather. With its high bulk, it forces the trade winds to slam home. You could say that it grabs clouds out of the breeze. And then it allows the rainfall from those clouds to rinse its own slopes and to gradually, but inevitably, wear itself away. Over time, the mountain will dissolve and vanish. Then, so will the rain. The mountain is only temporary. For now, though, we lucky humans can enjoy the beauty of and live with the fresh water that we harvest from the sensational play of stone and storm. Such yielding and giving are part of Maui's essential personality, the graceful part. And all who live on Maui and all who visit attain some of that grace. For it seems obvious that people take on some of the characteristics of their natural environment. But the second largest Hawaiian island is more than Mauna Kahala Hawaii, much more. Maui is complex and surprising. Just when you think you finally understood the place, you'll turn and look the other way. As if under the protection of a large dry pu'u or cinder cone, two beaches lie serenely between sea and land, a reminder that Maui's story is a story of contrasts, of oppositions, above all, of two mountains. Not twins, not by a long shot. East Maui is Haleakala, House of the Sun, a singular, magnificent entity. We are looking into its summit crater. Haleakala is a young volcano in its prime, dormant now, but although no lava has flowed here for several centuries, not yet extinct. At over 10,000 feet elevation, Haleakala crater rises high above the weather. Its dry cinder world includes species that can be found nowhere else on Earth. Its view of the cosmos is positively unearthly. It's hard to believe, but the geological record shows that this crater was once a lake. The trapped water eventually broke loose through two gaps in the crater wall. The rushing water carved enormous canyons on two sides of the mountain. This is one of those ancient gaps. On Maui, always expect surprises. From the coastal road down below, Manawai Canyon appears narrow and craggy, a dry relic of old erosional forces. Not a drop of water to be found. It's impossible to know from the roadway how lively and beautiful this canyon is at higher altitudes, where it widens into an amphitheater-headed valley. Streams pour over the sharp rim here at the elevation of 4,600 feet. The water cascades into plunge pools, after which it sinks quickly into the dry ground. Water has been hard at work here, where no one ever watches. The life-giving waters of Kane. This phrase recurs in Oli and Mele, the chants and songs of the old days. Kane, the god, stands for the procreative powers of the land. A water of magic life. Life. Oh, give us this life. At Oheo, the current rushes noisily over hard basaltic stone, forming clean, smooth-walled swimming pools. This region has been preserved for posterity, thanks to the Nature Conservancy and the National Park System. An excellent 2-mile trail follows the stream up to the pounding eminence of 400-foot-tall Waimoku Falls. Rainfall is plentiful in Hana, a small town on the faraway eastern tip of East Maui. Hana, with its beautiful circular bay, which is guarded by a tall pu'u made of red cinders, a hill called Kauiki. The road to Hana is as famous as it is perplexing. Until 1925, when this road was first cut into the windward Haleakala shore cliffs, Hana was a distant world. Even today, drivers on the road to Hana can only guess what kind of fantastic empire of foliage they are skirting. The land here is rocky with almost no topsoil. That doesn't matter at all to the plants. Under ideal conditions, plants can grow on raw stone. If you wonder why the people of Hawaii make such a distinction between the leeward and the windward sides of the islands, take a good look at the windward. Nobody ever steps foot here. A question I put to you: where is the water of Kane? Yonder, on mountain peak, on the ridges steep, in the valleys deep, where the rivers sweep. There is the water of Kane. One question I ask of you: where flows the water of Kane? Deep in the ground, in the gushing spring, in the ducts of Kane and Kanaloa, a wellspring of water to quaff, a water of magic life. Life. Oh, give us this life. Meanwhile, the sea is always carving away at Haleakala's shoreline. This is the fertile potential of the Ko'olau. It is so fertile in terms of true wealth, water, that people of the old days carried soil down to this lava peninsula and turned it into a kalo-growing farmland called Ke'anai. Here, the few remaining residents of the Ko'olau still grow kalo and live a traditional lifestyle. The abundance of water results in botanical overload, a teeming rainforest where native and naturalized plants vie for a place in the sun. and every stream hides its inaccessible beauties. And straight roads are rare indeed. If the road to Hana was freeway straight, you could make the trip in about 15 minutes, not the hours it really takes. But what a loss that would be. It's a good road. Most of the way, there's enough room for 2 full lanes. And it gives you a lot of time to practice your basic hand, foot, and eye coordination, along with, did you just see what I just saw? Never mind, keep your eyes on the road, Henry. One is never bored while driving the Hana Road. The trouble with driving, though, is that you just can't see enough. Each glimpse is a teaser. On the other hand, if you're faint of heart, there might be some roadside features you'd rather not know about. Windward Haleakala thrusts its massive bulk directly in the path of the prevailing trade winds, a tremendous rain-catching system in an area with little room for habitation. Much of the water that falls here gets transported to central Maui, thanks to the Hamakua ditch system, 17 miles of ditch, tunnel, and flume constructed in the 1870s by enterprising sugar growers using immigrant contract labor. The transported water irrigates 35,000 acres of sugar plantation, the last remaining large-scale sugarcane operation in the islands. That's why Maui's arid central plain seems to be a gigantic lawn. Looking up from the north shore with its long white beaches, we can see that Maui is actually 2 islands, Haleakala and Mauna Kahalavai. In fact, there have been geological periods of higher sea levels when the 2 mountains were separated by ocean water. With its dual identity, a strong windward-leeward orientation and elevation changes, Maui is full of diversity and surprise. And no matter how busy any one of its small towns might seem, most of this amazing island is charged with wild, unpopulated beauty.